Hello and welcome to Wired In. I'm Diana Galata with Hampton City Schools. I'm very excited today to be joined by a friend, Penny Petersen, who is our Director of School Counseling. Welcome.
Good, thank you for having me.
So tell us a little bit about your background. What career path did you take that has led you to the role of Director of School Counseling?
Good. I have a varied background. I am a former classroom teacher. I've worked in alternative programs, and now I'm the Director of School Counseling. So my life experiences have brought me this. I was a military spouse. My children all went to Hampton City Schools, so it's just kind of come full circle.
So tell me a little bit about your role as Director of School Counseling. What does that look like?
In Hampton City Schools, we have a comprehensive school counseling program, which means we have counselors at the elementary, middle, and high school levels, and I oversee all of them, oversee the program. Elementary counselors tend to look at their program as the exploratory phase, the awareness, getting to help the young people to know who they are and, look at themselves as individuals. We go into middle school and that awareness moves into exploration. What do I want to do? How do I make decisions? And then in high school are the opportunities. What is my future going to look like and what am I doing now that's going to build to that future?
So at the elementary level, what is a guidance what would her day look like? Is it visiting classrooms, talking to students about character? What does that look like?
Yes to all the above.
Okay.
We always say we can have the best laid plans, but honestly, whatever happens that needs our attention is what we do. We are responsible for character education. We want our young people to understand what character traits are and then help themselves see how that fits into them. We all come from different backgrounds. And so I like for young people to be aware of what something looks like as well as what it doesn't look like so they can see where that fits themselves. Elementary counselors spend a lot of time in the classroom, getting to know the students, supporting the children, supporting the teachers. Our role is to support learning. But if young people have some issues that they're dealing with, sometimes their mind is not on the book. So we help them to come together, come to grips with what they're feeling at the time. We do small groups. Some young people need to work on friendship skills or different things like that. In our community, deployment is often a group that we do. There's a lot of separation anxiety with parents rotating. So we deal a lot with that at the elementary level.
So then what does it look like specifically at middle school? You mentioned something about exploratory, but is that more high school or?
No, it's a vertical. In the elementary level, when we're talking about character traits and goal setting, it's something as simple as what do you want to do? What do you want your grades to be for the first marking period? And then set an action plan for how do I get that grade? Then we talk a lot about the transition because going from elementary to middle school sometimes is the first transition that children have had to make. They've lived in their neighborhood, they haven't had to meet new friends, that type of thing. So middle school is a really big transition block. So we move into there, and of course that's when young people start, just their lives change. They're exploring different things, different opportunities. They're out in the world a little bit more freedom. So we move into that, trying to help them understand they need a social world as well as their academic world. We want them to broaden their horizons.
So then at high school, are the counselors working more on college prep, scholarships? How does that work?
College and career readiness, and we really want to talk about college and careers. I heard Dr. Staples say one time that college is but one avenue, one vehicle to your career, and I really liked that. Not everybody goes to college, but we all want everyone to have a career, but we want everyone to have options. So in the high school, it's about what courses can I take and what extracurricular activities can I be involved in to help me reach the goals I want for myself, very individualized. We don't spend as much time in classroom, doing the specific character traits at that time as we do a lot more academic and career. The three domains that counselors work under are academic, career, and social personal. So it's trying to make a well-rounded individual.
Great. So you mentioned preparing for life after high school. Yes. Tell us a little bit about the college fair that's coming up.
Oh, great. I'd love to. It's very exciting. It's next Wednesday. It's at the Hampton Roads Convention Center, and we host it annually with Newport News, Poquoson, and York County. And it's wonderful. It's just one of those events that when you walk in, you just feel the energy. We have anywhere from 130 to 140 different universities, colleges, post-secondary, the apprentice school, the military academies, a large variety of vendors are there, representatives are there. And so the students and parents, we really encourage parents to come because it's not a personal visit, but it's a really good time to get to see what all the options are. You know, some people have only seen HU or seen William and Mary or been to, you know, across the water to the Old Dominion, but they don't really know all the options that are available out there. So this is a very exciting night. The reps spend a lot of time talking to them. Students are encouraged to bring a resume if they'd like and leave it. They can get information, get on the mailing list. It's kind of a reality check as well because a lot of students say, oh, I want to go to, you know, Virginia Tech. And then when they talk to the rep, they think, oh, maybe I need to work on my SATs. Maybe I need to take, you know, a different level of course that I'm taking now. So it's not just for juniors and seniors, it's for 9th and 10th graders as well.
So that's Wednesday, October 28th?
28th.
Okay, at what time?
5:30 until 7:30.
At the convention center. And do the students need to sign up?
They don't. They just show up and they just mingle. You know, like I said, it's very well laid out, so there's enough room. It gets crowded because there's literally hundreds of people there. But they can mingle and visit the schools. And like I said, pick up cards, leave their cards. Students have a resume. I really encourage them to bring that because then that's their first line of contact, you know, with the reps there.
So it sounds like a really good opportunity to connect.
It is, and it's just fun. Like I said, just the energy level, you know, you can feel the excitement. You know, a lot of students and families think, oh, I can't go to college. I don't have the grades for college, or I can't afford college. And so this is their first glance, their first opportunity to say, maybe I can. And that's what I want to spark. Not that everybody needs to go to college, but I would like for every student to know that they can go to college, that that's an option for them.
Well, it sounds like a great event, and
fun.
We'll get the word out for you on that.
Good.
I want to back up and ask you one other thing. Parents in our community, what sort of resources might they have through the counseling department in terms of dealing with issues at home with their child? Is there anything you can help us in that?
There's several things, and I think time is the great, and our availability is the greatest resource that we can offer. I encourage parents, you know, many students will say, oh, I'm in high school, Mom, I've got this, you know, but I don't want parents to feel that way. We want parents to come into the building and sit down and have a conversation. If there's something that your child's going through and you can establish a relationship with the counselor and share that, it helps us to know how to work with that child at school. You know, sometimes there's just family issues that are going on. Sometimes there's a loss in a family. Sometimes, you know, just anxieties that fall over into the school. And so at any level, elementary all the way through high school. But also, you know, just to have a conversation about, I heard my child say he'd like to go to college, but I don't know what that looks like. I didn't go to college, so help me with that. We plan a lot of evening events, and we encourage parents to come out to those too, because that's when you get to talk to other parents and realize you're not the only one going through this situation. We do have resources. We have, you know, handbooks and college, you know, books that people can look at. We also have a great family portal now called Family Connection that I really encourage parents to spend some time, get in touch with their counselor and learn how to use that too. It's like the parent portal where they can have conversations with their students about what life after high school looks like, or transitioning, you know, helping young people make transitions throughout their life. So time and availability, you know, counselors are always available. If you just want to call and say, I'd like to come in and have a conversation with you about Diana. Could we just have a conversation? I've had parents who have shared medical conditions with me that no one was aware of. So sat down with the nurse, and through those kinds of conversations, we were able, keeping our confidentiality, but able to embrace the student and get some services that perhaps parents didn't know how to get.
And so really it's about the parent and the school collaborating to help the child.
Absolutely. You know, they know their child better than we do, but we spend as much time with their child, you know, and we see their child through a different lens sometimes. But I tell parents all the time, I can make a recommendation, but you know your child and you know your family's circumstances and how they're going to react to my recommendations. And just sometimes there's one little piece of information that when we find that out, it helps us to see something else that's going on.
Well, you've shared a lot of great information, and I know many of the resources can be accessed by parents through our website.
Yes, they
so we
can.
encourage parents to do that. But is there
Yes.
anything else that you'd like to share about school counseling or the college fair before we close?
Just invite everybody out and invite everybody to stay connected with your child. Like I said, my 4 children graduated from Hampton City Schools. And even when I was in the building with them, sometimes I didn't know everything that was going on in their lives. But I encourage parents, stay involved, you know, ask questions, make recommendations, but seek help. We tell children all the time, don't forget to raise your hand. And I tell parents the same thing, raise your hand, ask a question, come in and let us help you.
Well, we appreciate that encouragement. Thanks for
You're
joining
more than
us
welcome. Thank you.
today, and good luck with the college fair.
Yay, thank you. Please come out.
I will, and I hope you have a great crowd.
Great, thank you. Thank you.
And thank you for watching Wired In. Have a great week.
Thank you.